I'm Lucia from Docsity, and thank you very much for being here today in this webinar organized in partnership with Kristianstad University, Sweden. Tonight with us, we have Branko Veletandic, the head of department at Kristianstad, and Björn Mellon, the international coordinator, that will talk to us about learn computer science the Swedish way. So I will leave the floor to our speakers and enjoy the presentation.
Well, hi, and thank you for having us. My name is Björn Mellon, and I'm working foremost with the international student recruitment. I think I'm going to start a bit by just, introducing you to Sweden, Kristianstad, the city, and the campus before my colleague, Mr. Bratzer, will talk more about the programs in computer science. I will share a short presentation about Sweden and Kristianstad. So hopefully you have it on the screen. As you mentioned before, here you heard that Kristianstad University, Sweden is what we are called. And perhaps you're not familiar with Sweden as a destination or location. And if you see here, you can see that Sweden is located in the very north of Europe, in the dark green. Sweden is, I would say, one of the greatest countries in the world. We're very fortunate to live here. And if you think about Sweden, I think perhaps most people think about a very sustainable and green country. For many years, Sweden has been considered one of the most sustainable countries in different rankings. Sweden is also quite famous for our innovations. In rankings, we are ranked second of the most innovative countries. A third thing that perhaps people think about when they think about Sweden is equality. As you perhaps know, we have quite a generous system when it comes to social welfare. Parental leave is shared very often between the dads and the moms and so on. And just the equality is not just between gender, it's also between, religion and so on. So we are very free country, so to speak, a very equal country. A fourth thing, perhaps, that Sweden is known for is the Nobel Prize, and also actually the Swedish king and the crown prince Victoria, as you can see here in the blue dress. A fifth thing that most international students will be quite familiar with after studying in Sweden and here in Kristianstad is what we call a fika. Fika is something that we do on a regular basis, foremost on the afternoon, at the working place, and perhaps on the weekends at home. It's something that we try to sit together, have a cup of coffee. We drink a lot of coffee in Sweden, and have some cookies, something sweet. We socialize, we have a good time, relax a bit, and quite often the fika is also something that we can have, like a cinnamon bun or something like that to eat. So fika is something most of the international students get to know when they are in Sweden. Kristianstad then. Kristianstad, the city, and our campus is located not too far from the European continent, very close to Denmark and Copenhagen International Airport. From the airport, it takes about 1.5 to 2 hours by train to get to the city center of Kristianstad. It's very convenient because at the airport, you have a train station just below, and it takes you just to the city center of Kristianstad, where we offer you pickup service as a service, when you come to Sweden. The city of Kristianstad isn't too big. It's just a small city, quite cozy. It was founded back in 1614, actually by a Danish king, Christian IV, hence the name Kristianstad, Christian town, that means. This is from the city center, quite green and nice as well. And as I mentioned, we used to be Danish, but in the middle of the 17th century, we became part of Sweden instead after war and peace negotiations. This is one of the buildings in the city center. And this is the cozy park in the city center as well during the winter. And during the summer and the spring, we have lots of people at the square in the middle of Kristianstad, where you can see different kinds of artists, music and so on. So there's lots of things happening, even if we're a small city. Not too far from the city center of Kristianstad, you have the beach. This is something called Åhus, where they have a great beach handball festival every summer. And we actually have student dorms at a private landlord in Åhus, which is quite popular with the students. So when you have, come from the city center, about 10 minutes away, if you take a walk or your bike, you have one campus. Our university is located in one campus. It's quite beautiful buildings. Everything, all the facilities, everything is located here. This is one of the buildings where you have the reception, the library, and so on, which is, just been have some new furnitures and so on. So the facilities are quite modern, even if the buildings are a bit older, but beautiful. At our campus, we have 5 international programs. The Bachelor program, 2 Bachelor programs that Bratzo will tell you more about quite soon. Also a master program in computer science. We also have 2 master programs in business administration, one focusing on international business and marketing, and one focusing on auditing and control. And to summarize a bit, as I mentioned, Kristianstad University is located in one campus, which means it's quite convenient. You have everything at one place. You don't have to go to different cities or different parts of the city and so on. So everything is here, the lecture halls, the teachers, the professors, the facilities, as I mentioned, the library, etc. One thing that is quite unique when it comes to Kristianstad University, and also the city center, to be honest, is that this area is located in lots of water and so on. It has been designated as a biosphere reserve by UNESCO, which is quite unique. So it's lots of water, green areas, beautiful nature just surrounding this campus and the city. As I mentioned, we have 5 international programs on campus and 2 online. The tuition fees varies between 110 to 135 Swedish kronas per year, and that is for students outside the EU EES. If you're a European citizen, the studies education is for free. You should also be aware that besides the tuition fee, you also have to have money for the living costs, and the recommendation is that you have 8,700 Swedish kronas per month to spare for rents and for the living costs and so on. Scholarships is also something that we get lots of questions from students outside the EU. We have our own scholarship, which covers 50 to 75% of the tuition fee if you are granted the scholarship. But we also recommend that you perhaps apply for the Swedish Institute scholarships, which perhaps it's a bit harder because they want you to write a letter of formalized letter, and you have to have some kind of more background, so to speak. But if you are granted the Swedish Institute scholarships, you will not only have the tuition fee paid fully, you will also have the living costs paid. So it's very generous and a good scholarship. Harder to get, but we all recommend you to apply for both. Accommodation. As you perhaps know, accommodation can be quite hard to get when it comes to student cities. It's quite even in Sweden, it's quite hard. The one thing that we can offer here in Kristianstad as well is that we can guarantee you accommodation. We actually have one of my colleagues working full-time with accommodation, pickup service, the things that you need to get by quite easy. But you have to apply for accommodation on time. Another question that we are asked quite often is that, is it possible to work if you study in Sweden or in Kristianstad? Yes, you can work as much as you want if you have a residence permit for studies, but be aware, this is full-time studies. So if you get the extra job, it's just an extra job to, get some extra money. It's not to make sure that you have the possibility to survive, so to speak. And with that, I thank you for this part of the presentation, and will give the word to my colleague, Mr. Bratzo. Quite soon.
Thank you, Björn.
I will stop share, and hopefully I did.
Thanks a lot, and thank you for for letting me present the university, the programs that we have, our department, and so on. I also have a presentation here, a PowerPoint, so I'm going to share that too. My name is Bratzo Veletanlic, and I'm the head of Department of Computer Science. We are quite a small department, around 20 teachers, and most of them are also researchers in their own subjects, in their own areas, and we also have to offer 3 different international programs, 2 bachelor programs, and 1 master program. We are going to have a question and answer question and answer at the end of the presentation. So I'm not going to give you any answers during the presentation, but if you have any questions, you can write them in the Q&A chat, and then at the end of this presentation, Lucia will read them up, and I will answer them. I or Björn will answer them the best way we can. Also, you're going to be able to contact me through email should you have any questions about the programs or any other details about the programs. I believe that my email is available on the Docsity web. Lucia can surely send you my email address also, and you will be able to contact me too. So I'll be glad to answer any questions you have even after this presentation, this webinar. So yeah, back to our programs. We have 2 bachelor programs, 1 bachelor program in Computer Science and Engineering, specializing in the Internet of Things, and we also have a bachelor program in software development, a more classic computer science program. We also offer a 1-year master program, which is called Applied Computer Science for Sustainable Development. I'm gonna present all these programs shortly. The first one, the bachelor program Computer Science and Engineering, is the subject itself is kind of unique for Sweden and Swedish university programs. This subject, computer science and engineering, is working in the cross section between the computer science and computer engineering. So it's not a classic computer engineering program where in a classic computer engineering program you'll learn more about hardware, computer hardware, and so on. And in this program you'll surely learn about the hardware also, but you'll be more focused on the level above, and on data acquisition, data processing, neural networks, machine learning, and so on. So in that way, this program is a little bit different from a classic computer engineering program, but it is also a little bit different from the standard or from the classic computer science program, because it has a little bit more focus on the hardware, and it is also a wider range engineering program in itself. It yields an engineering degree, so bachelor in engineering. You'll work in this program. You work with embedded systems, these small dedicated computers, and you will also learn how to program them, how to connect them to networks of embedded systems, and also how to engineer systems of components, dedicated computers or dedicated embedded system components. After this program, you'll be also able to continue studies on a master level, either on our own master program or on some other any program in Sweden offering computer science master programs. So so much in general about this program. Here is the overview or the outlay of the outline of the courses in this program. As you can see, we are starting with fundamental courses in programming and mathematics, and then we are continuing with computer science courses like operating systems, algorithms, data structures, data communication, and so on. And then also shifting to more to classic computer engineering courses, wireless communication. And in the third year, you will also be able to dig into the courses, more focused courses like Internet of Things, system design, and machine learning with data acquisition. So a more specialized computer engineering courses at the end of the program. The program ends with the degree project in computer engineering, a thesis project, and a course called systems engineering, which is kind of the course where you're allowed to bring together all your skills and knowledge into a larger project. And this project is also related to the industry, so there is a strong attachment to the industry in the region here in Sweden. Yeah, I took a picture of our measurement lab where our engineering students spend a lot of time. And of course, our campus. It's never wrong to show these pictures now and then. The bachelor program in software development is it's a more classic computer science program, which will give you a bachelor's degree in computer science. Here, the focus is on wide range of software development and programming. So in this program, you will learn Python, Java, web development, different tools for web development, app development, and so on. It also contains core computer science subjects, exactly like in the computer engineering program. So also learn operating systems, computer security, and algorithms, and so on. And then you will also be able to dig into the these data analytics and data analysis courses like big data and machine learning and software engineering, more applied computer science courses at the end of the program. Even after this program, you'll be able to continue. It is possible to continue your studies on the master level, either on our own master program or on some other program in Sweden or Europe or somewhere else in the world. The the program contains these courses. Some of the courses are actually joint courses with the computer engineering program, so you'll also be able to meet students that are attending the computer engineering program, computer science and engineering program. This program also starts with the fundamental courses of different kind, like fundamental programming, object-oriented programming, mathematics, fundamental mathematics, and so on. During the second year, we have core computer science courses during the third semester, and then we're continuing with courses mostly in web development during the second part of the second year. During the third year, it's there is more focus on the application. So we have courses like machine learning, mobile application development, big data analytics, and so on. We also have a large course at the end of the program, which is called software engineering. We will learn how to design and engineer large software projects, and how to work with large groups of people working on the same kind of projects as you do. Even this program, of course, ends with a thesis project, computer science thesis project or a degree project, 15 credits there also. So these two were our bachelor programs. We also have 1-year master program, which is a little bit. We can say that it is quite unique, actually. Our computer science program is an applied computer science program, which means that it actually has some kind of scope of application. It has the SDG, the Sustainable Development Goals, UN's Sustainable Development Goals as the scope of application, which means that everything practical that you do in this program will be in some kind of way related to SDGs. Otherwise, the focus in the program is on machine learning, data mining, and security, especially wireless security. This program is also a natural extension to our bachelor programs, but it is also easily accessible program for everyone with a bachelor's degree in computer science engineering, computer engineering, but even some programs in some countries with degree in electrical engineering. So it is quite accessible in that way. So I'm quite sure that if you have a degree in any of these 3 subjects, you will probably be accepted to this program without any problems. If we take a look at the outline of the courses, the program starts with the scientific methods, which is also a course that is connected to or related to sustainable development. So you'll also get an introduction to the sustainable development goals and to the relation between computer science and the sustainable development goals. This program also has a course in mobile platforms, web development course. It will also you will also be able to learn more about wireless network security on an advanced level, Internet of Things, and applied machine learning. The course, the program ends with 15 credits independent degree project in computer science on advanced level. This is one of our computer labs, just a picture that I took. So the question here is, what distinguishes our programs? You'll have a large opportunity to meet and cooperate with students from different backgrounds, different cultures, different parts of the world. There is a beautiful blend of different kinds of people at our campus. You will also be able to meet Swedish students because they are actually attending the same courses. They are participating in the same courses as all other international students. So it is a great opportunity to make acquaintances, to meet new people, and so on. You will also have opportunity to participate in cross-cultural, cross-curricular projects with other departments, with other faculties, and you'll be able to participate in projects involving e-health, microbiology, business sciences, and so on. You will also be able to get in touch with the industry in this region of Sweden, which is growing right now. The IT industry here is really growing, and you are going to meet industry representatives from the industry that are really keen to have you as a employee in the future. So this is also a great chance for you to actually to get involved into that kind of collaborations. Our teachers, our university and department is very small, quite small. And our teachers are highly dedicated and very accessible. So you'll almost see them as a colleague during your studies here. So that is a great bonus actually for a student to have that kind of support during the studies. As I mentioned before, we also have proximity to the IT industry here in Kristianstad, but also in the southern region of Sweden. We are involved in many collaborative projects and different kind of projects with the industry. Also, our teachers and the staff at the faculty and the department, and also our programs are developed through collaboration with that local industry. So the industry has really had influence on how we see our subject and how we see the future of the subject. So that's what I have to tell you about the actual uniqueness of the department and the programs. And here I'll show you a little picture with the different the logos with the different companies that are involved in our programs, that we have a really nice relationship with. So this is the library at the school, and So thank you very much. That's what I had to say about the department and the programs. So now I will ask Lucia to continue to collect the questions that the public has.
Of course, thank you very much, Brako and Bjorn, for your wonderful presentations. We saw a lot of messages on our chat of our participants saying how much they enjoyed the event. If you still have questions, remember to place them on the Q&A box. Now that we are starting the Q&A section, we are ready to start answering them, but please place them on the Q&A section you will find right here below on the Zoom menu. So if our speakers are ready, we can start with the Q&A round. We have a few questions about scholarships. So I don't know, Brako, if you can give further information about that, about the application process for the scholarship. And as I see for the questions, if they are available for non-European students.
Yeah, actually we have an application process open very soon. So if the students are interested, if the participants are interested in that subject, they can send me an email, and I will answer that gladly, and send them a link to the page where they can get all the information. Yeah. So there is we have our own scholarships, but Swedish Institute has also scholarships offering for international students. So.
Okay, so I can just, if you authorize me, I can put your email address on the chat so the participants can send you an email. Because maybe there are some specific criteria depending on the case. So what's your previous degree and where you're coming from, your particular condition. So right now, just to all participants, I'm putting on the chat box.
Well, if you want some more information about scholarships, perhaps I can, fill in something, because I saw there was some different questions about scholarships in the Q&A.
Yes,
the details is very good, because as Bratu mentioned, we have the information on our homepage, and you will have the link later on. But the basics are that our own scholarships that you apply for here at Kristianstad University are merit-based. You have to, I give you a short information about our own scholarship. It would be like you have to apply on time. You have to prioritize Kristianstad University on the top as your first choice. Master students are prioritized before bachelor students. And then we have a board for scholarship, so to speak, with the program representatives. So Bratu is one of them, who decides depending on how many has applied, how much money do we have this year, and then they will decide, depending on how much money we have, if the reduction of the tuition fee will be like 50% to 75%. Sometimes it has also been like 100%, but it differs from year to year depending on how many applicants we have. And also it can happen that some year perhaps we would like, from the university point of view, to prioritize computer science before business administration, because we have master students in both the faculties. It can also be like we prioritize perhaps that we have some women and lots of men applying, and a few women, and we try to prioritize women depending on. So it differs a bit from year to year depending on what the board have to say about it. But the basics are that it's always, like I said, the merits are what they are, as I mentioned, but you can read all about it more when you have the links later on.
Okay, thank you very much, Bjorn. I cannot address more. I cannot address enough the importance of doing everything on time, especially if you're a student coming from outside the European continent, because these processes might take time about getting information, getting together all the documents, and going through the application process, just to make sure that you're on time, that you're able to access this fantastic university and the course you have chosen. Thank you very much, Bjorn. We have a few questions about, I'm just trying to group all the questions which are similar so that we can answer everybody. We have a couple of questions about the admission process, especially for people who need a visa to enter the country.
Yeah, from the general, when it comes to applying for studies in Sweden, everybody has to apply through this university admission.se, which is a national intake, so to speak. You have to apply on time, as I mentioned before. The deadline when it comes to apply for next autumn is the 16th of January. And that is very important to know because you have to apply on time. And as you heard before, the visa process and the application time when it comes outside of Europe and so on, when you have to have the visa, takes a long time, especially for different from some countries there takes more time because perhaps you have to go to the embassy to have an interview and so on. So it's better to apply as soon as possible, to be honest. You don't have to wait to the 16th of January, but after the 16th of January, you can sometimes, apply late, but it makes your case quite harder to, to get through, not only get, into the program, but also when it comes to the visa process and so on.
Okay, thank you very much, Bjorn. As we said, organization and anticipation is key in this admission process. We also have a question about the possibility of obtaining a job-seeking visa after graduating from Kristianstad University.
Well, when it comes to the Swedish, the visa and so on, if you have, as I mentioned before, when you study, if you have a student visa, so to speak, a resident permit for studies, you will have the possibility to work as much as you can during the study time, which is nothing that we recommend. We want you to focus on the studies, of course. But after you have fulfilled your studies and you have, taken enough credits, meaning that you have fulfilled the program, you have the opportunity to apply for a job for 1 year after you have taken, finished your studies. So 1 year after you have finished your studies, you can apply for a job in Sweden.
Okay, thank you very much. We have another interesting question. Is there an age limit to apply for a bachelor program?
One more time, please.
Yes, is there an age limit is there any
No.
age limitation to apply for the programs?
No, we don't have any age limits.
No.
No. We have actually had students that were 16 years old. Also, yeah, some of the students of course are much older. So I believe that the average age in our university is around 30 years.
Yeah, if you count also the Swedish students, that quite,
exactly.
In Sweden, the government, so to speak, want to encourage lifelong learning. So it's quite, you can study for as long as you want to if you fulfill requirements and so on. Just as a mean, even if you're working, you can study weekends, evenings, and so on. And that's also makes as to mention the age a bit older, perhaps, but the age differs a bit.
Yeah.
I see. Thank you very much. Another question is with the international master programs, if there's a possibility to obtain a double degree or to do an exchange. I assume it would be like a study trip abroad.
Well, from a general point of view, if you fulfill requirements for 2 degrees, you will have 2 degrees, from a general point of view, as long as you fulfill the degree requirements. But I don't know if that was the question, to be honest. So I'm not sure what you're aiming for.
I assume it would be, maybe I am wrong, maybe the participant can clarify, but some universities, they have agreement with other universities that make that the students can obtain a double degree, let's say double diploma by doing 1 here? Maybe that's what the participant was asking about.
I'm quite sure that we don't have any agreement of that kind right now. We had an agreement of on the bachelor level, I believe, that was with Chinese University a couple of years ago. Exactly. So, but we don't have that anymore. I'm quite sure about it.
No, we don't have any double degree at the moment
No.
at university. And as much Bachelor mentioned, we used to have, but that's depending on what kind of agreement we have with partner universities.
Exactly.
Or so at the moment, if you speak like, if you're a student from a university, their home university, so to speak, would know about it. But at the moment, we don't have that possibility. If you don't, as I mentioned, if you have enough credits to actually, you know, fulfill requirements with you, but not with a partner university at the moment.
Okay, thank you very much. Another question says, what's the average cost of living for academic year?
Oh.
The average cost of living. Yeah, you know, you have to have, you should be aware as well that when you apply for a student visa or a residence permit for studies, you have to prove that you have enough money for the tuition fee, for the living cost, and so on. Otherwise, you won't be able to get the visa. And the recommended sum per month is 8,700 kronas. You have to, you know, make to your own currency, and that's what they recommend from the state, from the government, so to speak. 8,700 kronas per month should cover your living cost, because you have like food is expensive. You have, you know, the rent and so on. But on the plus side, when it comes to Kristianstad University, as we are a smaller city, and we help you, we guarantee you accommodation. Actually, the accommodation that we offer is quite cheap, considering, you know, if you compare to other cities in Sweden. So that's a plus side. And as I will sometimes, you know, it perhaps sounds a bit boring to study at a small city, but it isn't. We have lots of things to offer, and we are very close. It's very easy to go to Malmö, the third biggest city in Sweden, and then you take the bridge to Denmark, and then you have Copenhagen, which is an even bigger city. So even if we feel like, you know, it's perhaps a bit too calm for your taste, you have the possibility to very easily go to bigger cities, to the nightlife, depending on what your interests are. And we should also mention we are very close to Lund, of course, where you have lots of industries besides the Lund University and so on. So from an international point of view, it's like, you know, living in a suburb and taking the train to the city center for a party. I don't know, but we can offer you lots of things.
Okay, thank you very much. Then we do have another question about living and studying in Sweden. It says, how diverse is your institution and how accommodating it is to non-European students?
You know, we have a lot of mix when it comes to students and backgrounds. Even Swedish students have different backgrounds. We're quite a tolerant country, so it's not an issue. I don't think I shouldn't say that we think about it, but it's very common that we have international students foremost on campus. And, you know, even Swedes, so to speak, have different backgrounds. And as I mentioned in the beginning in my presentation, we're quite an equal country, especially from an international point of view. So lots of diversity. I don't think that I haven't heard about any troubles. When I speak to students from all around the world, I meet them on a regular basis here on campus. They all say that you know, Swedes are very friendly. Of course, you can have bad luck meeting bad people, but that happens everywhere in the world, unfortunately. They also mentioned that it's very easy to get by because every Swede from, you know, I don't know, 4 years of old to 94 years of old speaks English. So it's very convenient getting by in society, because if you need help with the direction where to go, in the supermarket, wherever, you can ask anybody in English and you will get help. So it's quite convenient to get to Sweden, Kristianstad, to live in.
Okay, thank you very much, Bjorn. We do have some more questions. Let me just choose one of them. We have a question of a student asking if he or she can study from their country. It doesn't specify which country it is, but I guess it is oriented to know if there is any remote degree, if there's any online degree.
No. So those programs that what you have presented today are on campus, and we don't have any computer science programs online, international.
Okay, thank you very much. So we have some other questions about the specific requirements or the specifics for each courses. I guess on the website that Bracco put on the chat, universityadmissions.se, they can have further information. Otherwise, you can send to him email on the address I put also on the chat, bracco.veletanlic@hkr.se. You will find it on the chat box. We have another question on the chat and on the Q&A box saying, how can I submit my order? I guess is referring to how where they can send their application. Do we have any specific link for that, or they can find it on the website?
Yeah, I think one very useful web page that I mentioned is universityadmissions.se. If you go there, you will find all the relevant information about applying to studies in Sweden, the general requirements, and then you can find the programs available, and you will search in the search box for Kristianstad University. You will find the programs that we have and offer, and then you will apply there. Everybody applies on universityadmissions.se. You don't apply directly to the university, and that goes for every university in Sweden. So that's how it goes. The universityadmissions.se is also very useful when it comes to different kinds of information when it comes to studies in Sweden and so on. They're useful links to other pages and so on. So if you're interested in studying in Sweden, that's the page to go to, exactly that page. So go there, apply there, and don't forget to search for Kristianstad University in the search box.
Thank you very much. I put again both the website and the Bracco's email address on the chat. You will find it there, and there you will find all the information. We have another interesting question. It says, should we learn Swedish to study in the university, or can they learn it as they do their degree?
Well, there are no Swedish language courses in the programs, so it's completely up to themselves if they want to do that or not. So, and it's not required at all to know Swedish language during the program. So, yeah.
No, as you say, but so, this is an international program, so it's all
Exactly,
in English
true.
and so on. So everything is taught in English. And one downside, perhaps, if I may joke a bit about it, is that everybody speaks English, and I'm quite happy to speak English. So it could be quite hard to learn Swedish because we're quite glad to speak English. Most people here in Sweden.
Exactly.
Yeah,
but
so,
I know that many of our international students actually learn Swedish also. So after 3 years, many of them have learned Swedish and can talk Swedish. So
it's up to you.
It's a natural, yeah, exactly. So, but it's a natural thing to actually learn language in the country where you live. So,
okay, yeah, thank you very much. I guess in conclusion, it's perfectly fine to just know the English, and of course, you're welcome to learn the Swedish if you'd like to. There are many people who are curious about the different languages, so why not? It would be a great opportunity to also add the Swedish to the own languages baggage.
Yeah.
So we still have some more questions. Let me just check and choose one real quick. Okay, okay. A question is if there is any English certificate required, such as the IELTS or the Cambridge or some kind of language certificate.
You, Bratso?
I couldn't hear. Can you please repeat?
Yes,
It was
of
about
course.
the English requirements, different kinds of English tests and so on you can do.
Yeah, it's IELTS is
Mhm.
that's the one that we use during the application process. So IELTS.
Okay. Is there any specific level that is required, or?
I believe it's 6.5.
6.5, if I
yeah,
is correct.
6.5.
Everything, if the students are interested in a specific program, all the requirements will be specified if they go to the program itself, including the English level. It's most often it's English B or English 6 when it comes to different kinds. I'm just going to check here on the brochure because it differs from program to program. If we're looking at the master program in computer science, you have English B or English 6. And that goes for the other ones as well. It's not specified on the brochure when it comes to the other programs, but it will be specified. So English 6, I would say, from a general point of view, but it will be specified when you're looking at the specific requirements for each program.
Exactly. So Swedish English 6 level.
Yeah.
Or yeah.
And if you go to universityadmissions.se, as I mentioned again, you will find very useful information when it comes to the background. You can also find country-specific information on that page about, information about your country and your educational system, the basics. And also I can recommend you to go to studyInSweden.se, where you also can choose country-specific information on the right top corner. So that's the 2 pages, national pages I would recommend, besides, hkr.se/en.
Okay, thank you very much. Maybe we can write it on the chat for everyone to take a look at it. In the meantime, we have another question. Saying, do you have any short courses of software development using Laravel framework and any other secure web-based framework? So a specific question, but maybe you can let us know if we have any specific short courses on the program from the university.
We don't have all the courses we offer are already the part of the program. So we don't have any international course offerings at all. No short courses or anything like that. So only the courses in the program are available. So you have to apply for the program in order to be able to take any of our courses.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
That's the answer.
Okay. Okay, yes, let's okay. Okay, I guess the rest of the questions they cover more or less what we already discussed. I don't know if our speakers have anything else they would like to add before we close the presentation.
You go ahead first, Bratso.
Yeah, nothing more than everyone is of course welcome to contact me through email or to call me on the phone. If you want, we can also meet in Zoom or in Teams and talk to each other. So yeah, just send me an email and we can continue our conversation there.
Yeah, and I just want to, if you finish, but so I just wanted to, perhaps, summarize a bit about. I think it's if you have the possibility to go to Sweden to study, I think it's a great opportunity. Sweden is, as I mentioned, quite, a green, safe, equal country with, high quality education. And if you're interested in computer science, you have, in a part, unique programs. In Mr. Rutz's faculty, so it's recommended that you come here. One thing that I think is quite good when it comes to a small university as Kristianstad is, besides that we offer you pickup service, introduction week, we offer you activities during the whole education period, because we don't want you to feel sometimes when you come to a new country, a new town and so on, perhaps, as I mentioned, English is quite easy to get by, but you can still feel lonely. But we make sure that you don't, because we offer you lots of things together with the student union and so on. We offer you trips to the Swedish capital, sometimes to the northern part of Sweden. We offer you, as I mentioned, Swedish fika on a regular basis. So you won't feel lonely, because it can sometimes feel a bit scary to, study abroad and so on. But that's a good thing when it comes to a small university, is that we do care, and we do take care of you. And as Ratsu mentioned, also in Sweden and in Kristianstad, it's very easy to talk to the teachers, the professors, because we are not, perhaps, as you meant, from some countries, it's could be hard to address teacher or professor because the hierarchy is quite what it is. Sweden is quite easy in that way. And we encourage, independent thinking, be happy to think outside the box, problem solving and so on. So when you come back, to your home country, perhaps you have learned not only about the Swedish society, but, and have a great education. You have perhaps also learned from a different point of view. And also one thing that is important is that the education that we offer has quite close connection to the working life, right, Bratso? So that you will have, real life experience as well, so to speak, real working life, that is. So come to Kristianstad, you're most welcome.
Okay, thank you very much, Braco. Thank you very much, Bjorn, for your time today and for giving such a wonderful presentation. And especially thank you to all of our participants who decided to join today and to learn more about Kristianstad University. For everyone, just we have a few seconds to wait to close the meeting, so you can just go really quick to the chat box where you will find the website that our speakers were talking about, where you can find all the information, universityadmissions.se, and also you will find Braco's contact information, braco.deletandic@hkr.se. You can write there and get in touch with him. He is really available and very generous to give you some of his time to answer all of your questions. Finally, if you would like to receive the certificate of attendance to this meeting issued by Docsity, you can send an email to webinar@docsity.com, including your first name, last name, and the email address you use to register to this webinar. So once more, thank you very much to our speakers and to our participants for your time here tonight. To everyone, please be safe, and we will be waiting for you to join the next events organized by Docsity in partnership with Kristianstad University. Thank you and have a nice evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.